As a bike racer and cycling coach for almost 60 years, PhD Bill Edwards has done a lot and seen a lot. He has earned 4 Masters National Championships, worked with Hall of Fame coaches Mike Walden and Chris Carmichael, and authored the training master plan that powered Al Whaley to 15 World Championships and a gold medal in Sydney. His innovative and dynamic training protocols using progressive power are regarded by athletes and coaches alike as the absolute best use of your training time. So much so that the subtitle of his book boldly suggests that one can put the hurt on your training buddies after only 8 weekly workouts. Intrigued, we took a trip down Houston way to observe a training session with Coach Bill and 2 of his athletes using these very protocols. Here is a sneak preview.
I'm Bill Edwards. I'm a cycling coach. I've been a cycling coach since 1980. Been doing some serious research in exercise physiology and everything possible to learn that can make a person go faster on their bike for more than 30 years now. What we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate several workouts that one can do on the CompuTrainer that will absolutely increase your speed on the bike. That's what it's all about. It increases the power that you can generate, and that's the name of the game, to be able to generate more power in order to go faster.
Hi, my name is Cody Foster. I'm from the Woodlands, Texas, and we're doing stall out workouts by Bill Edwards. Riding all throughout high school since I've been about 14 years old. This year I've been racing collegiately with A&M, and I'm also racing for San Jose on the U23 team. This year I've gotten a second in the Cat 2s at Wahlberg, a 12th place I believe in the Pace Bend race, and actually this past weekend I was second in a criterium race for a collegiate, and it's just pretty early in the season, but looking forward to doing some good workouts and having a great season. Definitely want to improve my 1-minute power and 30-second power, and I think that's exactly what the stall outs are targeting. So I'm really excited to see what the effect of Bill's protocol has on my cycling.
What we're going to do is Cody's going to start pedaling, and then I'm going to push the start button, and in this section of the chart here, he's going to have an opportunity to get his cadence up to his normal time trial cadence, which I assume is around 90 RPM, right?
Yeah, 99.5.
99.5, okay, around 100 RPM. And so he's going to get his cadence up to at least that high and possibly a little higher. And then he's going to be hit with a very high resistance for the last little section of it, and he's going to be able to do probably about 8 or 10 pedal strokes at that super high resistance. And he's going to have to work really hard in order to keep the cadence from dropping down below 100 RPM. And that's programmed into the computer, and it's really easy to program the computer. You just edit a text file and change a few numbers and everything.
So what's the total duration of this drill?
Probably around, the work part is about 10 seconds or less.
Okay.
Go, 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 okay. Go, 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 go.
It was intense, but it was pretty short. So luckily, I mean, I was only 8 to 10 pedal strokes, and I probably couldn't have made it much more.
You were down in the bars the whole time, right?
Yeah, I was in the air position, so it was really just trying to turn the pedals over as fast as I could with all the dramatic increase in resistance. Well, basically, it's kind of like sport-specific training. It's like lifting weights, but with your legs. So it's like lifting watts, essentially. So repeating, doing 1 or 2 sets of this maybe per week will have the same benefits as me going to the gym and working on any other type of muscle. And this is a sport-specific type of short workout.
As the resistance got harder, well, his cadence dropped down. You can see that's the yellow line here. His cadence dropped down, and you can see that his wattage went up, and then it went down temporarily while he was switching over to the going hard, and then it went back up again. His maximum wattage for this little effort here was 756 watts.
Wow.
What we want to do is we want to see from week to week, see his power increase. And in the book, there are some charts there of athletes that I've coached who's showing how their wattage progresses with time. And usually about 8 to 10 workouts, they can increase the wattage by 200 or 300 watts, which is really significant. Power is important in any discipline: mountain biking, time trialing, triathlon, road racing, track. It's an important thing, but the thing is that the amount of power that needs to be generated and the manner in which it's generated is different for each discipline. For example, being in the time trial position, the power that's being generated is completely different than it is on the road. So if you were to do these workouts and develop power on your road bike, it would not necessarily apply that well to power generated in the time trial position. So it's specific to the event that you plan on doing. In Al's case, which we're going to get to in a minute, his job is to be able to generate power at somewhere between 160 and 170 RPM. For a sprint event, in order to win a sprint event, he has to be able to generate maximum power at somewhere between 160 and 170 RPM. That's pretty quick. And so that's where the power, it turns out that strength and power generation is speed specific, and the speed we're talking about is the cadence, the speed of the pedal. So if you generate incredible power at 50 RPM, it doesn't help you to try to go 160 RPM at high power. It doesn't work. And the same way the other way around. If you generate your power at high RPM, it's not so applicable at low RPM. So in order to do it, you have to be specific in everything you do: the position on the bike, the cadence, and the duration of the ride and the resistance. Everything it's all different for each sport. Well, here's what these workouts do. They expand the neuromuscular recruitment of more and more muscle fibers than you would ordinarily be able to recruit by just going out and training at moderate speeds or lactate threshold speeds or whatever on a time trial bike. Suppose we're talking about a triathlete. And so it's not possible to expand the neuromuscular recruitment of more muscle fibers by just riding at normal speeds. What you have to do is you have to hit it with incredible intensity. That expands the neuromuscular recruitment, and then when you go out training, you're using more muscle fibers and you're training them to be able to do the endurance.
That'll definitely be the CompuTrainer, because it gives you a fixed environment in which you can record your power during workouts, and it'll actually grab it for you as you see here, and you can compare your data to previous workout sessions and know that you are improving.
One of the great things about doing these intense workouts on the CompuTrainer, as Cody mentioned, is that all of the conditions are the same. Therefore, you're comparing apples and apples. You're not comparing apples and oranges from one session to the next. Another great thing about having a CompuTrainer is that what's required in order to really, really get faster and better is consistency. That means day-to-day consistency. For example, as Lance Armstrong says, "I never miss a workout, ever." The neat thing about the CompuTrainer is if you have a CompuTrainer in your house, you have absolutely no excuse for not getting on your bike.